Hey, it's cftracking.com here to do a review for the Coros strength training application and sort of built-in aspects and see if it's any good for CrossFit training. This whole YouTube channel and website is dedicated to CrossFit training development and watches and devices that help benefit that. So I'm going to test it all out on the Coros Verdicts, and I'm going to have the Coros Verdicts review up probably later next week. So stay tuned for that. And please, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I'm definitely trying to build a subscriber base for things that benefit people in doing CrossFit training or high intensity interval training. So we're going to get into the Coros strength training thing, and I'm going to give you a preview of the app, and just we're going to look at it in specifics, how to build a training aspect, look at it on the watch and how it comes up on the watch in a workout, show you a summary of the results of one workout, and then give you a summary of thoughts to determine if it's worthwhile. And over the next week or sometime in the next few days, I'm actually going to do a review for the Garmin strength training aspect, which is actually pretty exciting because of what I've been testing with it. So let's get into all of those things: the app, how to build, watch, how it looks, and things like that. And stay tuned for the summary at the end. So looking at these two basics, when we get into what does it look like on the watch, what does it look like on the app, just to build the strength training program and to access it, you go into the main app, and you'll see at the bottom the different icon options, and you go into the watch. This is where you develop a training plan. You hit add plan, create program, and you can select from run, bike, swim, or strength. We're going to go into the strength, and here's the basic platform. So you can title it here, put a description here. It starts with a warm-up, one generic training, and a cool down. So you would add an exercise here. And what I typically do, because you can sort it by whole body exercises, shoulders, chest, so body part related. And you can sort it by muscles that you're focusing on. You can sort it by equipment that you have available to you. So you could pick the barbells, and this will show you a bunch of different barbell exercises. You see that it's very limited there in the barbell exercises, muscle group, body parts. So what I typically do is just go into a search thing, and you can just search for whatever item that you want. So let's just say you're doing bench press, which is not a typical or often used. Let's just say you're doing squat. So you have generic air squats, squat jumps, all of those things. But the power squats would be the weighted squats, Bazoo ball squats. And so you would pick one of these things, and it would show you a picture of what muscles it works and the activity that you're using, and then you would add that item. Here it comes in, it automatically sets it up as 4 sets with 10 reps and intensity. So what I would typically do, and I'll show you a sample workout that I built in a second, is I would typically just zero out the rest unless there is a true rest. Like if you're doing every minute on the minute, you could try to assume it's going to take 30 seconds and add a minute and a half or 30 seconds or whatever you wanted to do. And then you go in to add your next exercise. So let's say here we're going to do a search, and we're going to search for burpees. So burpees are a movement that is built into this. And you add the burpees. Say you're going to do 15 reps. You're not going to do 4 sets. You're just going to do 1 because this is around each particular round. So here, if you wanted to duplicate, you slide this out and you can duplicate. So this is the way, and it duplicates it right there. And let's say you're doing multiple rounds of the same movements. So then you have 2 power squats here. You take the burpees and slide it up in between. So you have power squat, burpee, power squat, burpee. And then what's going to happen is on the watch, it'll walk you through each of those movements in that order. Here, make sure that there's no rests. So this still got the rest in it. So you want to skip the rest, and that means that needs to have rest. Skip the rest, and you have cool down. So this you would save. I'm not going to save it now. So that's how you create the program. I'm going to show you one that I developed, and then the one that I actually executed. So here, it was a declining rep scheme with a 3-minute rest. So it was 15 burpees, 21 kettlebell swings, 3 rounds of that with a 3-minute rest, and then 12 burpees, 18 kettlebell swings, 3 rounds of that with a 3-minute rest, and then it was 9 burpees, 15 kettlebell swings, 3 rounds of that. And so you can see on the heat map So let's talk about some of the issues that I've run into. What do you see on the heat map? Well, you see the kettlebell swings, the quads and the glutes, but you don't see anything for the burpees. One thing that I've found that's a major issue is that any total body movement like burpees doesn't give you any heat map credit. So you're not going to get credit for those muscle groups that were executed and used. So we'll show what it looks like. So here you can see training plan, that was this day. So I went through, what is the problem number 2 with the strength program is you can see all the movements. It's great. It shows you a big summary. It's a little bit, because you're doing multiple rounds for time or something like that. I had to like swipe, duplicate, change it, because it doesn't just automatically repeat. You don't have a built-in repeat feature for a round. It's a repeating round. Here, the muscle heat map, obviously missing the whole rest of the body that was affected by the burpees, and there was a lot of burpees, and it was an exhausting workout. Doesn't clearly show that here. And then you have the heart rate. What's missing here is that there's no training effect. What's also missing is in the watch, you don't get the recovery time estimate, as well as you don't get any addition to load from this workout. It's assuming that your training load did not get affected by the workout. So it's purely meant, I think, for people that are just doing like, it's 6 sets of bench press, maybe a declining rep scheme or something like that. But it's not really meant for people doing a cardio version of strength training or cardio-based strength training. So it's a big failure there. The other thing that's a failure is that if you go into, and I should have shown you this when I was there, go into create a program, create a strength program, you have your movement. We're going to add an exercise. Let's look for a snatch. So snatches are basically a single arm dumbbell kettlebell snatch. If you look at that, there's no other snatch listed. So let's go into clean. No results found. Let's look for an overhead squat. Nothing there. And then if you even wanted to do, if you're doing rounds that include a run, like the workout today had a run, ab mat sit-ups, and power clean and jerks. So if you're looking for a run and you want to add that to your development or to the plan for the day, all that you can do is run with high knees or run in place. It doesn't have a generic run. And I'll tell you a little preview ahead of time from the Garmin review that's going to come out is that they've mastered all these things. So anyway, you put your training program in there, you do your duplicate, and it repeats it, and you have to set it up sort of very more tediously manually, and then you save it, and then when you save it, it gives you the option to upload it to the watch. So what we see when we look at the watch is you basically go into the training program, which is listed with all your sports profiles. So you'll go into training program, and then you'll have the uploaded versions here listed as strength program, and you can view it. Burpees, first set, burpees, kettlebell swings, that sort of thing. So you can view it, and then when you start it, I'm just going to start anyway. So you go through the warm-up. It's going to count down a warm-up. You can click the bottom button to go to the next rep. It'll count those reps, and it'll say next up. It doesn't show you like what movement is next up, but it'll show you what's next in the movement process. So we're starting that process. Next up would be burpees, but we're starting our kettlebell swings here. And you continue to click through until you get to the rest or whatever it is, the next piece. So this is what it looks like when you're functioning in the watch. So we'll just stop that. That's the light. And we'll finish. We're not going to save it. So back there. So it doesn't, you can obviously upload your training plan. It's built into the watch. That's great. That's on the right track. But all these features that are missing from the actual functionality of it in a real CrossFit setting are significant. So again, this is how it looks, total workout times. It does track your calories. It obviously does track your heart rate. So I had an average heart rate of 155, max 175, and I stayed in the red zone almost all the time. And this workout did not give me any training effect, didn't give me any load credit, didn't give me any credit for the heat map, the muscles used, didn't give me a recovery time. It was difficult to build because I couldn't repeat it and didn't include, so I tried to build a workout for today's workout and I could not do it because it included a run. I mean, the sit-ups were there and then the clean and jerk. There's no power cleans, there's no jerk, there's no split jerk, there's no dumbbell hang clean. It wasn't any of those things. So let me give you a summary and then we'll get back to it and check out the review upcoming for Garmin. So in summary, it's not ready for CrossFit. It's not ready for really full development training because of a few basic things. Number one, as we saw in the video, we can't find Olympic lifts. There are not very specific lifts when it comes to CrossFit style movements or workout aspects. There's no ability to repeat rounds without having to manually enter, the same exercise over and over, even using the duplicate process. So you can't just set up. And I'm excited to say when I look at the Garmin video, that's the review that's going to come out for the Garmin strength training, you'll see some different results. The heat map was off because if it's a total body exercise movement, it's not giving any credit towards those muscle types. So that doesn't work. And the biggest thing that means it's not ready for CrossFit is that when you do a training plan or a strength training program, it'll track your heart rate, but there's no training effect. There's no recovery time from that workout, and there's no addition to load. So it is somewhat of no benefit to true training because it does not apply or calculate into your overall training development. So not quite there yet, not quite ready. I think they're on the right track and they have a couple of neat ideas, but not ready for CrossFit. And please stay tuned. Please subscribe for the review for Garmin's strength training aspect because it's a good one. It's going to come out in the next few days. Thanks so much.